Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into France 24. I'm Genie Godula. Let's now take a quick look at what's coming up in today's U.S. election special on culture. Oliver Stone is perhaps the most political director in Hollywood. After biopics of JFK, Nixon, and George W. Bush, he's unearthing the untold stories of American history. That's with a new documentary for TV. The notorious left-winger tells our LA correspondent just why he feels Obama's not living up to the job. Oliver Stone's not the only one in Hollywood weighing in on the presidential campaign. We'll take a look at the actors and entertainers who've turned out to back both the president and Mitt Romney. And pop stars are also making their mark on the campaign. Our music critic Valley's here to take a closer look at which performers have drummed up the most support. But we'll begin this U.S. election special with Oliver Stone. The Oscar-winning director has long been fascinated by politics, profiling wars and presidents that have shaped the United States. And now he's focusing on what he calls a classified America we were never meant to see. That's the subject of his new book and documentary series called The Untold History of the United States. LA correspondent Valerie Defer met the notoriously left-wing director who still has a bone to pick with the president.
This is the key to the whole series, is to find out how we got to where we are and who we are. It's a great, great story. There's no better story than history. None. You can make up all the stories of contemporary, but when you do the Titanics or the movies that are about the great things that happen in history, it's always great to explore it. And for me, this is my lifetime. This is when I was born, right after the atomic bomb was dropped. So for me, it's very personal. And I grew up educated very well by American standards, but I didn't learn the truth. It was an upside-down history. It was mythology. It was America was the good cowboy, and we were doing the right thing, and we dropped the atomic bomb on Japan because we were trying to save lives, and so forth and so on.
Napoleon once said that history is a pack of lies agreed upon. Well, I'm not sure I agree. I believe history does have a meaning, does have a purpose, and there is a pattern to be found.
Do you think it is important to always know the truth?
You mean to be willfully blind? Why not? Be a lot easier. Ignorance is bliss is the old cliche. You don't want to know too much. You back away from danger. We all do. It's compassion.
There are many questions that you may not find answered here, but you will find questions raised that I hope will help make you more conscious.
I've really worked my whole life on these themes, you know, whether it's the Cold War, whether it's Vietnam, politics, the nature of American experience. And it's important to me because although I'm older now, but I've had experience, I just know more than I did when I was younger.
Hello, Nevada!
The book is kind of a harsh critic of President Obama's track record.
I don't think so. We fault him for being the maintainer of empire as opposed to being the deconstructor of empire. I mean, it's not enough to be the first black president. That's a great honor. But for Christ's sake, man, be more like Martin Luther King. Say what you mean and stand up for it and take your hits. People will hate you for what you say. God knows. And you can't be scared of the Republicans.
You backed Barack Obama in 2008. Yeah. Are you still supporting him?
Yeah, I pre-voted. I pre-voted for Obama, yeah. I would say any progressive voter in any of the swing states has to vote for Obama. Has to. Frankly, he inherited a mess. He inherited a very sick situation. And he was able to, by focusing as much as he could, to bring it back. And I don't know anybody could have done better, given the state of the economy and the world economy, too. Look what happened in Europe. And it's a very difficult situation he inherited. So, you know, you have to give him credit. And he was also, he's smart, he's attentive, he hung in there. And he stayed in shape. He didn't get too fat.
You've done 3 movies on U.S. former presidents, JFK, Nixon, George W. Bush. Are you planning one day to do a movie about Obama?
No. No, I'm not a president chaser. I did those films for different reasons, each one. I thought they were important. They had impact, long-term impact. In the long run of history, whether Obama makes a difference, I don't know if he will. You know, I think Reagan is the only one I haven't done who really made a huge difference, because with him the right wing came in for the next 30 years. But Bush was, the son, was such a nightmare for me. I think he really hurt us in a significant way, and people don't even. My movie on it was very light, but it was about the beginning of this man and how he became. But I don't think Obama measures up to having. I mean, he hasn't changed the course of history.
Well, we'll know soon enough if Barack Obama has the chance to change the course of history with a second term in office. In the meantime, his celebrity backers are doing everything they can to make sure he does. But if George Clooney and Scarlett Johansson are rooting for the president, screen legends Chuck Norris and Clint Eastwood have rolled out the big guns for Romney.
It's become a political tradition in the US, having a few movie stars add a bit of Hollywood glamour on the campaign trail. At the Democratic Convention in September, Eva Longoria and Scarlett Johansson came along to do their bit for Barack Obama.
And this year, on November 6th, I am filled with that same pride, that same enthusiasm to press the button to re-elect President Barack Obama.
Hollywood heavyweight George Clooney has brought more than just stardust to the Obama campaign. Last May, he held a dinner at his Los Angeles home where guests paid at least $40,000 per ticket. In all, he raised $15 million in just one night. But despite Hollywood having a reputation of being left-wing, not everyone follows the stereotype. The Republican candidate Mitt Romney has his share of famous faces backing him, including Chuck Norris and Clint Eastwood.
You're thinking, what's a movie tradesman doing out here? You know, they're all left-wingers out there, left of Lenin.
Speaking at the Republican convention, Eastwood did show that celebrity appearances can be a double-edged sword. His rather surreal improvised double act with an imaginary Barack Obama fell flat with some.
What do you want me to tell Romney? I can't tell him to do that. Can't do that to himself.
US celebrities have always been part of the political theatre, but their support in this presidential race is not as strong as it was in 2008.
What we've seen this time around is that there are fewer people coming out and supporting one candidate or another, whether or not it's because there's less enthusiasm this time around or people are just a bit tired of the election campaign because it has been going on for 2 years. We are seeing less.
Of course, movie stars don't have to just endorse candidates. Some have succeeded in politics in their own right. Arnold Schwarzenegger embodied the American dream for many, an immigrant working his way up through Hollywood before running successfully to become a Republican governor of California. But the actor who's gone furthest is undoubtedly Ronald Reagan. After a career in film, he got into politics and was elected President of the United States in 1980.
Musicians have also lent their voices to the candidates during the campaign, and to tell us a bit more about which pop stars have gone political, I'm joined on the set by our France 24 music critic, Valley. Hello.
Hi, Jeannie. How are you?
I'm fine. Tell us.
Well, you know that Obama knows his classics, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, Al Green. His iPod is full of them. And, of course, Bruce Springsteen, who's always out there campaigning. I think he was out just doing a number of states recently.
He's been all over the place. We just got some latest pictures from Madison, Wisconsin, where he was on Monday doing another campaign rally after playing both in Pennsylvania and Ohio. And funnily enough, he was with Bill Clinton on the campaign trail in Ohio. Bill Clinton, who said, "It's great that I get to be the warm-up act for Bruce Springsteen."
He also got some really important support from the royal couple of rap and R&B who are Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're almost as glamorous, not quite, but almost as glamorous as Barack and Michelle. We also saw a massive movement for Obama in 2008. I think you remember will.i.am, who produced the song called Yes We Can, that was inspired directly from one of Obama's speech. They've just produced another song like that, a collective of singers. There's Neyu, Goo Goo Doll frontman Johnny Resnick, Natasha Bedingford, and Herbie Hancock, who are some of the participants. It was shot in Los Angeles in the street, but also mixed in with pop stars, which gives it much more impact. Let's have a look. It's called Forward.
You know, we heard Clint Eastwood saying not long ago that it seems like all artists and entertainers lean to the left, but in fact that's not true. At least this time around there are lots of right-wing musicians out there backing Mitt Romney.
And it's the case of Jonathan Davis of the heavy metal group Korn, who has said that Obama has dragged down the country and that Americans now are not proud to be Americans. He is a strong militant for the right to own guns in order to protect one's family. Hank Williams Jr. spreads his hate for the president, calling him a Nazi and an anti-American, which is really pretty disgusting, singing great country songs, and you sort of get mixed signals. But Mitt Romney chose Born Free by Kid Rock as his official song. Ironically, it's a very Springsteen-y musical refrain, and the words make you grin. He says, wild like an untamed stallion, which is pretty much, it's not really the image you think of when you think of the clean-cut Mormon, which is
he does have
Romney.
A lot of kids.
He has 5 kids, so he might be a bit of a stallion. Let's look at Kid Rock. It's called Born Free.
Valley, thank you so much for that look at the influence music has had on this year's presidential campaign. And we will know not long from now whether or not the times will be a changin', as Bob Dylan would say, or if, in the words of Tammy Wynette, you American voters out there will stand by your man. But for now, we will say so long with a look at some presidential fashion. Here are some of the many different styles of American first ladies over the years, from Eleanor Roosevelt to Michelle Obama. There were pearls, there were bouffant hairdos, and then there was Jackie O. Take a look.